What if I told you there's a tiny microbe already living inside your gut that could have the same kind of power as today's most popular and, let's be honest, most expensive weight loss drugs? It sounds wild, right? Well, today we are diving deep into something called Akkermansia. It's a natural bacteria that is completely changing the way we think about metabolic health. If you think that sounds as amazing as I do, you're gonna wanna stick around. And hey, while you're here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and definitely drop a comment below with your thoughts. So let's just get right to it. This is the big question, isn't it? Could a single type of bacteria in our gut really do the same job as these incredibly powerful pharmaceuticals that are all over the news? I mean, it almost sounds too good to be true. Let's break down the actual science and see what's going on. All right, first things first. Before we can really appreciate what this little microbe does, we need to quickly understand how these famous weight loss drugs actually work their magic. It turns out the whole thing really revolves around one single crucial hormone that our bodies make. And that hormone is called GLP-1. Now, this isn't something cooked up in a lab. Your own body produces it naturally, right there in your gut, every single time you eat a meal. You can think of it as your body's own internal manager for appetite and blood sugar. It's the one that tells your brain, hey, we're full now, and it keeps your blood sugar from going haywire. It's a totally fundamental part of how we're designed to work. Okay, so the drugs you hear about all the time are called GLP-1 agonists. Now, agonist is just a fancy science term that means they mimic or imitate our natural hormone. As you can see here, they do three main things. They send that I'm full signal to your brain. They slow down how fast your stomach empties so you feel full for longer. And they help keep your blood sugars stable. It's a really effective strategy, but it's an external one. It's coming from the outside in. And now, for the natural contender, meet Akkermansia. Ever since it was discovered back in 2004, scientists have been absolutely fascinated by this microbe. So what's the connection between this little gut bug and that super powerful GLP-1 hormone we were just talking about? And this slide, right here, this is the absolute key to the whole thing. The drugs are imitators. They act like your natural GLP-1. Akkermansia, on the other hand, is a coach. It works from the inside, encouraging your own body to make more of its own GLP-1. It's really the difference between hiring an actor to play a role versus empowering the original star to give an even better performance. One is an outside fix, the other is an inside boost. But the story for Akkermansia doesn't even stop there. Its benefits go so much deeper than just GLP-1. They go right to the very foundation of our overall health, and that is our gut lining. So just think of Akkermansia as the master gardener for your gut wall. It literally strengthens the barrier, which helps protect against what people call leaky gut. By beefing up that wall and the protective mucus that lines it, Akkermansia helps keep bad stuff like toxins out of your bloodstream, it calms down inflammation, and it helps you actually absorb all the good nutrients from the food you're eating. So if this bacteria is so great, what happens when we don't have enough of it? Well, a major study in 2022 found a really clear pattern. People who are dealing with issues like obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, and chronic inflammation, they consistently have way lower levels of Akkermansia. This isn't just some random coincidence. It's a huge clue pointing to how important this microbe really is. Which, of course, leads us to the most practical question of all. How in the world do we get more of this powerhouse bacteria in our systems? Well, there are really two main paths you can take, the natural food route and the supplement route. But as we're not to see, one of these is definitely much safer than the other. The safest and honestly the most recommended way is through what you eat. Akkermansia absolutely loves certain compounds found in plants, like polyphenols and fiber. So that means it thrives when you're eating fermented foods like kefir, yogurt, and pickles. It also does really well with those plant-heavy diets like the Mediterranean or Anatolian styles. And here's a cool one. Even giving your gut a rest through things like intermittent fasting can give your Akkermansia levels a serious boost. So the obvious next question is, well, why don't I just take a pill for it? And you know what? You can find them. But this is where we have to pump the brakes. Please pay close attention, because what's coming next is the single most important safety warning in this entire explainer, and it comes directly from the experts. And to be perfectly clear, Akkermansia supplements are legally available. As this slide shows, the European Food Safety Authority has even approved a pasteurized version as a safe novel food, which opened the door for it to be sold over the counter. However, and this is the absolute crucial point from our expert source, Dr. Ursoy,
These supplements should not be taken without talking to your doctor first. Let me say that again because it's that important. Do not just go out and buy these and start taking them without professional medical guidance.
And here's exactly why. Remember that leaky gut we talked about? If your gut barrier is already compromised, flooding your system with a huge dose of just one single type of bacteria can actually backfire. Instead of helping, it can potentially stir things up and make gut inflammation even worse. When it comes to your gut microbiome, balance is everything. So, the main takeaway here is really simple and really direct. The safest, most recommended, and most effective way to boost your Akkermansia is to do it naturally by feeding it the foods it loves. And the golden rule always applies: never, ever start taking a new supplement without talking it over with your doctor first. And all of this brings us to a much bigger, more philosophical question, doesn't it? As we keep unlocking the secrets of our own bodies and the microbes that live with us, where do you think the real future of medicine lies? Is it going to be found in a pharmacy? Or is it found on our dinner plate? I would genuinely love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.